Even though aura farming is a modern term, trust me, nothing farms aura harder than history. Hannibal crosses the Alps with war elephants. Rome felt safe. Too safe. Their enemies didn't attack from the north because the Alps existed. Snow, ice, death, impossible terrain. End of discussion. Hannibal looked at the Alps and said, "That's exactly why I'll go that way." This man marched an entire army, infantry, cavalry, and war elephants over frozen mountains where roads barely existed. Soldiers died, animals died, supplies were lost. It was brutal. But when Hannibal emerged on the other side, Rome panicked. No warning, no defenses, just pure psychological domination. Hannibal didn't just invade Italy, he shattered Rome's sense of security. For years after, Roman parents used his name to scare children. Hannibal is at the gates. That's elite aura farming, winning before the battle even starts. Alexander the Great cuts the Gordian knot. There was a prophecy in the city of Gordium. Whoever untied the Gordian knot would rule Asia. The knot was legendary, impossibly tangled, no visible ends, and centuries old. Kings, scholars, and problem solvers had tried. Everyone failed. Then Alexander shows up. He looks at the knot, thinks for a moment. The crowd is watching, expecting patience, technique, maybe brilliance, something clever. Instead, Alexander draws his sword and slices the knot in half. No hesitation, no apology. People gasped. Some said, "It didn't count." Alexander basically replied with his actions. "I'm still going to conquer Asia." And then he actually did. That's aura farming at its highest level. He didn't play by the rules because the rules were made for people who hesitate. This moment defined his entire legend. If the path is blocked, destroy the obstacle. Prophecy fulfilled, aura secured. Napoleon returns from exile and reclaims France. Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba. Europe thought the story was over. The legend was done. He was guarded, watched, neutralized. So Napoleon escaped. That's too easy. He landed in France with barely any troops. The king sent an army to stop him. This was supposed to be the end. A former emperor facing his own soldiers. Napoleon walked toward them, alone. He opened his coat and said something close to, "If any of you wish to kill your emperor, here I am." Silence. Then the soldiers joined him. No fight, no force, just aura. So strong that loyalty reactivated itself on sight. Within days, Napoleon was back in Paris, back on the throne like he never left. That's not charisma, that's gravity. The kind where power returns to you naturally. Julius Caesar crosses the Rubicon. Imagine being told very clearly, if you cross this river, you are officially an enemy of the state. Now imagine replying by crossing it anyway, calmly, with your army, and then dropping a one-liner that echoes for 2,000 years. That's Julius Caesar. The Rubicon River wasn't impressive. No waterfalls, no dramatic cliffs, just a boring little river with massive political consequences. Roman law said generals could not bring armies into Italy. Caesar knew that once he crossed, there was no turning back, no apology tour, no "let's talk it out," just civil war. So what does he do? He crosses it slowly, deliberately, then says, "Alia iacta est," the die is cast. No idea what that means, but that's just so fire. Not yelling, not hyping himself up, just accepting fate like a man who already knows he's going to win. That single step led to the fall of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. No speech, no announcement, just action. That's elite aura farming, when the move speaks louder than the explanation. David versus Goliath. Goliath wasn't just bigger, he was unbeatable by every visible metric. A trained warrior, armored, armed. A giant who had been fighting since childhood. He stood in front of ancient Israel's army every day, mocking them, daring anyone to step up. Nobody moved. Then David shows up. Not a soldier, a shepherd. No armor, no sword. No experience by the standards that matter. Even the king tries to dress him in armor, and David takes it off because it doesn't feel right. That alone is aura, refusing to cosplay strength. David walks toward Goliath with a sling and 5 stones. Goliath laughs. He's insulted. He thinks this is a joke. That's the mistake. David doesn't circle, doesn't hesitate, doesn't flinch. He runs forward toward the giant and releases 1 stone. It hits Goliath in the forehead. Instant drop. Silence. David then takes Goliath's own sword and finishes it. This is pure aura farming.